Welcome back to another video, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Today we're going to be talking about spark plugs. No, we're not going to change spark plugs on this car. We're going to be changing out the spark plugs on my Rsx Type S. You guys already know that the Rsx was pretty much neglected by the previous owner. The cabin air filter was bad. Wait, what the fuck? I've been breathing this in to where it's just something's peeling off. The shift boot was ripped and the shift knob was just faded out. The shift boot is torn as well. This shifter, since it's like kind of cracked, you guys can hear it. I ended up replacing all of that, and I just did a few more basic maintenance things on the R6, but I completely forgot about changing the spark plugs. Imagine if the spark plugs would never change, just like how the other things, it could cause damage to the engine. Thank God this started up, but this shift knob is really hot. I think I should have gone for something plastic instead of metal. But then again, plastic isn't heavy and wouldn't feel too good. You guys get what I'm trying to say. So you gotta move it like that. Also, I have a brand new lighting set. I know a lot of you guys said that I do need something like this. You guys know that I never really had good lighting in this garage, and this is not enough. So before, what I used to do is use this small little thing as lighting, and it barely even covers like a little bit. You guys want to see how bright these two are compared to that? Let me turn on. Bruh, I cannot even make this up. The coil packs don't even have fucking screws in there. Nearly out. See? Okay, there. The screw's out. Only one coil pack is bolted on. The others don't even have screws, bro. And this one, who the hell owned this car? I've been driving this car with loose coil packs. What? That makes no sense. Why would you want to leave a loose coil pack in there? Is the motor even healthy? What if like the motor itself has problems and there's probably something that I don't know anything about it? The way that there's dust over here makes it seem like nobody really got in here. But then again, why would you want to leave the coil packs without any bolts? Like, that makes no sense at all. And this is exactly what I was telling you guys, that this car has been neglected pretty badly. I've freaking came across so many surprises on this car than I have ever did with all the cars added together that I've ever owned, if that makes any sense. I was gonna say the next step we're gonna do is take these connectors off from each coil pack and then remove these bolts. In our case, there's no bolts. But on your car, there's probably are bolts. So just remove those and yeah. Alright guys, so this is a moment of truth for taking out these spark plugs. Hopefully they're okay. I don't know what to expect. Like I said, this car surprises me a lot. So let's take a look. Okay, snapped off easily, which is good. That means that the spark plug wasn't like jammed in there or tightened very hard, because you're not supposed to do that. Moment of truth. Oh dang. It doesn't look too bad, honestly. Okay, see, this one's very tight. Shouldn't be that tight. I think with spark plug, you're just supposed to keep it as hand tight as possible. Second one. Oh, dang. Not bad at all. Let me see. Yeah, they don't seem too bad. So what I'm basically gonna do is I'm probably gonna take the other two out now and just suspect them if they're good as well, because the first two we pulled out for cylinder 1 and cylinder 2, they were perfectly fine. Okay, so if you were to look here closely, all of them are worn out evenly, which is a good sign. That basically means that one cylinder isn't leaking or there's no coolant that's going around with the spark that's interrupting the spark and causing a misfire. So the key part to look at spark plugs is basically on the top where the spark actually happens and what they're actually designed for. So if you look at this part, this outer electrode, it looks worn, but it's not completely worn out. So there's no deposits on here, and it doesn't seem like it's burnt. And the second thing that we look at is like this white electrode. So if you look at it, it looks pretty clean and there's no discoloration with it. Usually you start seeing like a yellow discoloration that occurs over here, and sometimes it's even rust, or there's like a sludge buildup over here as well. But if you look at all the other ones as well, it's basically the same thing. See, the third one is good too, and the last one. And one thing that caught my eye when I was taking out these spark plugs is that there are NGK Iridium spark plugs, which is a spark plug that I run on any vehicle that I'm changing the spark plug on. I'm not sponsored by NGK or anything, but hands down, they make the best spark plugs that is on the market. And these Iridium ones are one of the most expensive ones that they offer. I think it was last night or the night before, I was planning on buying them just because I thought the car needed new spark plugs, just because the way it's been neglected in this past. Okay, so luckily I found a spark plug for my Ford Mustang that I kept when I changed my spark plugs. As you can notice the difference before the OEM one that is basically done for. So yeah, if you were to compare these two, the outer electrode, you notice that the Ford one that I had on my EcoBoost, look at the top compared to this one. Clearly notice that this has been worn out and it has discoloration. It is turning rusty color. And if you look at the electrode inside, that is a definition of a lot of miles and a lot of sparks. So if it turns yellow, like I said before, you know that you definitely need to change it. And you can definitely notice that this is not as bad as that. Alright guys, so it's the next day, but the way that the spark plugs look, it seems like I can use them for a few more thousand miles. And now I'm probably gonna just put them back in. And if I had bought new spark plugs, I would have just repeated the same process where you just put them in, put the coil packs on top, connect the coil packs, and put the screws in. I completely forgot about the bolts that were missing. I got these two in. This one went in, that one went in. That's what she said. These two are still missing those bolts. I was planning on going to O'Reilly's or AutoZone, find a bolt that could possibly bolt on, but then I realized I have like a pile of spare bolts and nuts that I'm gonna empty out and just go over something that could go on there. After going through a lot, I have found two that could possibly fit in. Alright, luckily both of the screws fitted and they're in, and we have all four. Now I'm just gonna double check the oil to see if it's low. If it is, add more in. The oil is brown, just change it. I know I changed it a couple of months ago, but I haven't checked since then. So you just wipe the first go. And now let's check that one more time. Wipe it again. Seems okay. Definitely seems like it's used. It's not that dark enough where it needs a change. Now I'm just gonna double check how much there is. Seems like it's a bit low. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add maybe a quart more. And I don't think I'm gonna add this cover on again. I think it looks a lot better just like that. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn the car on and see if there's any check engine lights. If the spark plug or the plug isn't in correctly, it usually throws a check engine light of the certain cylinder misfire. And sometimes it throws the check engine light after we drive it for a certain distance. But now we're gonna just try turning this car on, clutch in. all good. Do you guys want to hear the Skunk 2 exhaust? 2 revs for it? Yeah, that's pretty loud.